Hey everyone, Anders here with another Black Desert video. Today I was going to make a video covering the new Dekia PvE mechanic, but we had a huge update announcement through a letter from the producer on Korean servers. This lays out the immediate change in direction for the future of open world PvP and PvE quality of life for the game. I'll go through the letter, tell you my thoughts, and then we can discuss in the comments. This is a translation from Korean, so I have cleaned up some wording, but the message remains the same. I am sure eventually we will get an official translated letter for global regions. Hello adventurers, this is Kim Chae-hee, executive producer of Black Desert. First of all, I would like to say thank you. Recently, many new and returning players started their adventures in the world of Black Desert. Thanks to this, we and the existing players have been busy. It is thanks to these players that new and returning players have been able to enjoy their adventures in the world of Black Desert. Thank you again to the existing players. Due to the lack of seasoned servers from the sudden influx of new players, 2 spare servers for unexpected situations, and thanks to the concessions of existing players, Balanos 3, Kaplan 3, Euphoria 3, and Florin were also converted. A total of 13 servers are currently active. We have updated 4 new servers urgently, and when today's Korean server maintenance ends, the first thing to do is to restore the 3 servers that were changed to seasoned servers. Thank you again to the players of Balanos, Kaplan, Euphoria, Florin, and Heidel who were willing to give up their servers for new and returning players despite the inconvenience. Along with the restoration of each of the 3 servers, 1 seasoned server will be changed to the Olvia 2 server to be used as a server that new returning players can use even after graduating from season. In the future, we plan to convert some novice-only season servers to new player normal servers Velia 1, 2, and 3, and to operate a new player-only server that allows you to continue playing after graduating from season. In this changed server, I hope that new and returning players will use it immediately after graduating from season and then gradually continue playing on the normal server. Next, I would like to tell you about the hunting grounds that many players are concerned about. While the new players are continuing to visit the game, more and more players have recently graduated from season or now qualify for graduation. Along with this, players have been talking about the difficulties and fears that can arise in open world hunting grounds. So I would like to tell you about the updates we're preparing. Black Desert is an adventure game that takes place in an open world. Due to the nature of the open world, the more people there are in a hunting ground, the smaller the range of individuals that can hunt, and eventually there is no space to hunt, so you have to experience moving to a different hunting ground or moving servers. In order to solve this problem, we have tried to improve the profits of other hunting grounds, and we have also carried out an unconventional update that is far from the open world theme called Marni's Private Room. The situation has improved a lot since then, but with the recent visits of so many players, it seems like it's time to think about the hunting grounds once again. Recently, the respawn time of monsters in some hunting zones have been updated to be twice as fast, making it possible to hunt faster in a narrower space than before. Later, through the Elements of Atanis event, the problem of the hunting grounds where most players were grinding was alleviated. However, despite this, many players are concerned about conflict in these hunting grounds. More specifically, it is the one-sided guild war that is concerning. In Black Desert, forced PvP is possible, but the penalties for doing so are very high. However, in the case of a one-sided guild war, it is often used to kill opponents without disadvantage rather than an honorable battle between 2 guilds. So we decided to make one big change. We will end one-sided guild wars. Last year, through a late-night talk, I talked about my concerns about a unilateral war. Afterwards, we adjusted the cost of maintaining the war so it was consumed at a rate rather than a fixed amount, and patched it to make it more difficult to maintain a one-sided war for a long time. Due to this patch, one-sided wars have been reduced to 15 from an average of 60 wars per day in 2021, but have recently doubled to more than 30 per day. Even by current standards, an average of 10,000 unilateral wars occur annually. From the past, RPGs have valued degrees of freedom. Being able to hurt someone in the game was also part of this degree of freedom. A weak player is defeated by a strong player, and the feeling of defeat can become a powerful growth motivator for some. Black Desert also considered a player's freedom of play to be very important and provided guild war content as part of that degree of freedom. There are also players who enjoy PvP passionately by utilizing the vast world of Black Desert as a battlefield through guild war content. However, some players feel pain in the realm of PK, where they have been killed unwillingly even when they're not ready to face it. In this way, it seems that one-sided suffering to others just for the sake of someone's fun can be said to be harassing. I don't think either we or the players want a situation where players kick other players out of the game due to bullying using the one-sided war system. Some people say, I just enjoy content that is allowed by the in-game systems. It is not a wrong sentiment. We also had to think about those who enjoy PvP freely through one-sided guild wars. Therefore, without major modifications to the game system, in the past we have only updated it to make it more difficult to maintain a one-sided guild war for a long time. But now it seems the time has come to make a choice. We will remove what is possible within the current system. In the future, guild wars will only take place under the agreement of both guilds. A unilateral declaration of war does not establish a war. In this way, there will be no means to unilaterally harass other players without being penalized. It can be a pleasure for players who enjoy and like war. However, for players who are not yet familiar with the world of Black Desert or who do not like fighting, having a conflict caused by yourself or a guild member affect the entire guild is a really painful situation in of itself. Some players may react to this change by saying things like, then there is no PvP content in Black Desert. Black Desert is progressed not only through guild wars, also through the Arsha server, where battles naturally take place in all fields, daily based battles, node wars, weekly occupation battles, siege, 24-hour red battlefield, seasonal Arena of Solare, and events. We provide a variety of PvP content, such as Arena of Arsha, individual battles that can be enjoyed at any time. It would have been perfect if one-way wars were used as enjoyable PvP content between players prepared for war, just like the PvP content I mentioned, but in reality, it was used as a means of harassment too often, so we had to make a choice. Taking this opportunity, we would like to express our apologies to all the players who had to go through uncomfortable and painful situations because we took too long to make this choice. And to the players who thought about and advised us on what to do with us for a long time, we sincerely apologize for taking so long to make this choice, even though we know that one-sided wars are often used for bullying. We will prepare well for the War of the Roses PvP mode currently under development so that you can enjoy PvP content in a variety of fun styles. Speaking of bullying, I think I should mention one more change. Existing Black Desert karma values are character-based, so there are frequent cases of abuse using alt characters. As a result, we will also change the karma value to be based on the family account, not on the character. It seems odd that in a family, some members can be used to harass others, while others can roam freely without any penalty. If all of these tendencies are shared by the entire family, be sure to remember that forcibly harassing others comes with responsibility, and I hope that from now on you will act more carefully and only when really necessary. Next, I'd like to talk about the overcrowding of the largest hunting grounds being among one of the reasons for these one-sided wars. The biggest problem with the hunting grounds is that if the time you want to hunt overlaps with the time when there are many people, you can't do it properly even if you want to. Many problems arise from this. We are preparing some improvements to help. First, let's talk about Marni's private room. Some players already know this, but Marni's private room time is not a structure that can be increased by increasing the number of servers, so I looked for another workaround. If you use Marni's locked room time for 1 hour, it will now be recharged after 1 hour, and we will improve it so that it can be used repeatedly like this for 1 hour. We can hunt in a private room for 1 hour and continue hunting in a normal instance for 1 hour. However, this update will take some time to prepare. Marni's private room time puts a lot of strain on the server. To solve this, it is necessary to optimize the server, optimize the placement of monsters, reset the respawn time, and balance the profit. It is believed that many problems related to hunting grounds can be resolved to some extent when the changes in the Marni's private room are updated. Along with this, we will reduce the server transfer wait time from the current 10 minutes to 5 minutes. If you go to the hunting ground and don't have a spot, you have to move to another server, but the waiting time for this was stressful. I already reduced it from 15 minutes to 10 minutes a while ago, but now that there are more players, I decided to reduce it to 5 minutes. Lastly, we will change the Ornette and Odor events that are currently underway to permanent content. As a result, we expect to be able to alleviate the phenomenon of concentration on specific hunting grounds. This will require some time to analyze and work on the data after the event. We will adjust and update the balance so that it can be a great alternative while maintaining the merits of the existing hunting grounds. That's all I have to tell you today. If you look at the content alone, it may be unconventional and big, but it is not a sudden choice based on the current situation. It's a choice I made after thinking for a long time and trying many different solutions. Every time I think about such a big change, I feel scared, but I think I was able to make this choice because of the Black Desert players who always worried and supported me. Once again, I think I was really fortunate to be with our Black Desert adventurers. As much as we have been together for the past 9 years, we want to be with the players of the Black Desert of the future. A lot of things can change due to this update, and there may be some parts that are lacking. However, we will do our best to improve and update without giving up until the end. In fact, I wanted to talk to you through this update through a late night talk and talk about everything step by step, but for the time being, I think it's my job to focus more on server and update preparations. In addition to this, we will develop it while closely examining the things that were said to be developed at the Heidel Ball and the various feedbacks from all players. Thank you, adventurers. So that was a letter from the producer, a lot of focus on the new player experience, which is understandable with the influx of players. Let me break down the main points from this letter and then we can discuss in the comments. Guild War declaration will no longer be one-sided. Both guilds need to accept the war for combat to start. The reason given for this is to prevent harassing weaker guilds or guilds who have no wish to fight. Karma is now account-wide. For those of you who are new to the game, Karma is a point system every character has. When you grind, you gain Karma points up to the cap. When you forcibly kill other players, you lose Karma points. When your Karma goes into the negative, you will incur harsher penalties on death and be prevented from using certain mechanics in the game. Reason for this change is to prevent red players from simply switching to non-red characters when they want to play the game normally and avoid the harsh penalties of being a red player. Marni's private room will be expanded to allow you to use your hour and then wait an hour for the timer to recharge and then repeat as long as you want. So you will be able to grind on private Marni room every other hour instead of just 1 hour a day. Reason for this is to alleviate the influx of players grinding the same zones and leaving very few spots open, wasting your time swapping channels. Speaking of which, server swap cooldown is now 5 minutes. Reason for this again is to help players find grind spots that are open. Elements of Atanis is an event that is Korea only right now, but it allows you to grind normally to receive a token that you can then use for item exchange, and one of these is the infinite potion pity pieces, which was done to help those grinding the infinite potion areas and having no spots available. So those are the 5 big changes coming to the game. What do I think about this? Well, I can tell you we all see a lot of players coming into the game recently, of course, but it is nothing compared to just how many more people are playing on Korean servers right now. It is packed almost 24/7, so I can understand their urgency to want to do something to help these new players. More servers is mostly a Korean server thing, but they are implementing more season and novice servers across global regions to compensate for new players. That's a good change, no one can argue on that. The Karma change will affect maybe 5% of the player base. That's just the honest truth. 95% of players will not even know it goes live and will passively benefit. The Guild Wars change is more of a mixed one because there are some annoying mechanics surrounding Guild War declaration that I never understood, but we're gonna have to wait and see for this one. Marni's private room change will benefit the people who log in after work and want to play a few hours. You grind an hour in the room, dailies or life skills for an hour. You grind one more hour in private room before bed. No lifers also benefit. Only players who do not benefit are the open world PvP players. Elements of Atanis is a good event and should be permanent or at least a seasonal thing, since we have moved to the infinite potion being a necessary treasure item mentality for every player. But these are just my opinions. Let me know your thoughts and discuss in the comments down below. Reminder, support your creator event is on. Every purchase you make, you can use code Anders. Capitalization does not matter, and at no additional cost to you, I will get a small kickback. Always appreciated. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.